From the Oklahoma Newsroom, this is an OU Update. I'm Jenny Carlson here with Jason Kersey. Jason, it's almost March, and that means it's almost time for spring practice. Sooners get started on Saturday, March 5th. That'll be their first spring practice. And when you look ahead to biggest question marks, quarterback always seems to top the list. We know who the Sooners intend for their starter to be with Baker Mayfield back, but backup's got to be a huge question at this point.
It absolutely is a huge question. I mean, you lose Cody Thomas to the baseball team, you lose Trevor Knight to a transfer to Texas A&M, and all of a sudden your backup is a true freshman. At least he's an early enrollee. Yeah. That's the one thing they can say. Austin Kendall is an early enrollee. They have Kyler Murray, who transferred in from Texas A&M, former five-star guy, but he can't play this year.
Right.
And then they've got a couple of walk-ons. They've got another walk-on coming in next year. Although walk-ons have worked out pretty well for them, so
yeah.
with Baker Mayfield. So, but it will be interesting to see if they get into the 5th or 6th game of the year and Baker Mayfield has some sort of minor injury or another concussion that keeps him out for a game. Will they burn Austin Kendall's red shirt, or would they put a walk-on in and just let him hand off to P. Ryan and Mixon? That's going to be real. Or put Mixon in and let him run the Wildcat. There's any number of things they could do, but you wonder if they would be willing to burn Austin Kendall's red shirt.
Yeah, so obviously spring is going to be really important to get these guys some reps and get them ready for the fall and potentially those questions. Another question that looms is who's going to catch the passes from who's ever in there. You lose Sterling Shepard, a huge safety valve guy, big play guy, just did so much for this team during his career. Deron Neal's also gone. So what's your biggest question about receivers at this point?
Well, I think it's like you said. I think it's who's going to catch the passes. I mean, you look at D.D. Westbrook is obviously coming back. He had a pretty good year last year. You would think he's going to be the main guy. And then they bring back Jarvis Baxter, who started a couple games. He did all right at times. And then from there, you have Geno Lewis, a graduate transfer from Penn State. I would expect that he'll start and play a big role. They've got some incoming freshmen that could play. Some guys who redshirted last year, didn't play much last year, like Dahu Green. You have Jeffrey Mead, who will be a junior. Hasn't really done much to this point, but this could really be his opportunity. You always wonder about Micaiah Quick. He was a guy who could play both sides in high school, and things haven't quite worked out for him at receiver. So you never know if they might try him on the other side of the ball. But Micaiah Quick is a guy who's shown some flashes. So they've got options. They just don't have very many experienced options.
Right, consistency is a big question mark at that position. Lastly, let's talk on the defensive side. Obviously, losing another defensive line coach in the offseason as Dyron Reynolds heads back to California to coach at Stanford. A third defensive line coach at a position that finally had looked like it had solidified, Jason. How does this spring factor into yet another position coach change?
Well, it's undoubtedly an issue I think you have to deal with. And Calvin Thibodeau is a good coach by all accounts. He's a player's coach. Everybody that's played for him really likes him. He's an OU guy. I think that adds a little bit of stability and a little bit of insurance to this. You know that he's not a guy who's going to just up and leave after a year unless he gets some unbelievable opportunity to be a coordinator somewhere. He's going to stick around for a few years. But last year, talking to guys like Charles Walker and Charles Tapper and guys like that who had gotten so close to Jerry Montgomery, and then had to adapt to Dyron Reynolds, things worked out really well. There's no guarantee that that's going to work out again. Even though I think everyone is excited about Thibodeau, it's sort of widely viewed as a good hire. But you never know. Yeah,
it's the first chance for these guys to be on the field together in a practice situation. We'll definitely be following how that one goes for sure. Again, Sooners start practice on Saturday. Be sure to stay with the best coverage team anywhere at newsok.com and every day in the Oklahoman.